Okay, I'm ready. If you guys are ready, we'll call the meeting to order. Ms. Whitby?
Ross?
Here.
White?
Here.
Taylor? Robinson?
Here.
Baxter?
Here.
Harris?
Here.
Height?
Here.
Witcher?
Present.
The quorum is present.
Thank you very much. I invite you to rise for the pledge and the prayer led by Council Member Height.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for letting us gather together tonight in this great hall to conduct the affairs of the city, and we pray that you will pass on to us the wisdom that we need to do everything that's in the best interest of our residents in the city of North Little Rock. Heavenly Father, we pray that you'll watch out over all of our uniformed policemen, firemen, and armed forces here in the United States and across the seas, and watch over and protect them in all that they do. And Heavenly Father, we pray that everything that we do will be pleasing in your sight. The words that we say, the things that we think, and our actions will also be pleasing in your sight. And Heavenly Father, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a great American that passed away, Senator John McCain. And we just want to pass on our thoughts and prayers and condolences to he and his family and all the great works that he's done throughout his career. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So moved.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. Communications, anybody want to pull one? I'm showing 5.
Fine.
One, number 5?
5.
Number 5. All right, how about a motion?
Move to accept 1 through 4.
Second.
Accept and file 1 through 4.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Robinson? I'm sorry, Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
You want number 5 by title or in its entirety?
If you could read in its entirety, please.
Notice of public hearings and funding availability. Notice is hereby given that the City of North Little Rock anticipates applying for 2 categories of funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for fiscal year 2019, Community Development Block Grant CDBG, and Investment and Home Investment Partnership Home Funds. The city will prepare a fiscal year 2019 annual action plan. In accordance with its citizen participation plan, the city will conduct 3 community-wide public hearings to address housing and community development needs for the annual action plan. The purpose of the hearing is to obtain the views and comments of individuals and organizations relative to the needs that may be addressed by CDBG and home funds. With the announcement of Notice of Funding's Availability, NOFA, under CDBG, the public hearings are also scheduled to give citizens an opportunity to provide suggestions for proposed projects that may be eligible for funding under the 45th year 2019 CDBG program. If a nonprofit organization plans to submit a request for a project, an application packet with all required information must be submitted. The project application form may be obtained at the Community Development Agency, CDA, 500 West 13th Street, North Little Rock, Arkansas, 72114. You may also call our office at 501-340-5342 to request an application or to request additional information or technical assistance. Completed project application forms must be received at the above address no later than 4:00 p.m. on Monday, September 24th, 2018. All interested citizens are invited to attend the public hearings. Accommodations for persons with disabilities, persons with hearing, vision, or speech impairments, and non-English speaking persons will be made upon request. Contact the CDA at 501-340-5342 at least 48 hours prior to the meeting date if any of these accommodations are needed. The schedule for the public hearing is as follows. Ward 1, Tuesday, August 28th, 2018 at 6:00 p.m. at North Little Rock Boys and Girls Club, 1212 Jim Wetherington Place, North Little Rock, Arkansas 72114. Ward 2, Wednesday, August 29th, 2018, 6 o'clock p.m. at Rose City Police Substation, 4609 East Broadway, North Little Rock, Arkansas 72117. Ward 3 and 4, Thursday, August 30th, 2018, at 6 o'clock p.m., North Heights Recreation Center, 4801 Allen Street, North Little Rock, Arkansas 72118.
Move to accept and file, and thank you, Taylor.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Taylor. It is my honor to introduce Gary Sipes. He's the Executive Director of the Arkansas Chiefs of Police Association. He is a retired North Little Rock police officer. He's a former chief of police. He's got a resume as long as your arm, and we are honored that you came here today, Gary. So tell us what you're here for.
Mayor, it's my honor to be here. I appreciate the time that you and the council members are going to give me to present a certificate of accreditation to your police department. It's really good to walk into these council chambers to see old friends, the mayor and Murray and Charles. It's just great to see you guys, and of course, Danny Bradley and our chief, Mike Davis. North Little Rock's very near and dear to my heart. I was looking it up today and trying to figure out exactly how long it was. I started at the police department 43 years ago, but I started at a very young age.
Yes, you did.
I worked with you. Remember going around to the community policing meetings and.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Seems like there's always something good going on in North Little Rock. In fact, just the other day, the Arkansas Chiefs Association elected your mayor, Joe Smith, as the 2018 Mayor of the Year for our association. He was nominated by Chief Davis, and he was selected out of several across the state. But
Quite an honor, Gary. Thank you very much.
I know Chief is looking down on you right now,
Absolutely.
brother. Very happy.
Daddy is saying, way to go, boy.
That's right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, real quick, I just want to give you a little bit of history on how we got where we're at. Back in 2010, the Arkansas Chiefs Association was looking for ways to make law enforcement agencies across our state more professional. And of course, in this time and in our environment, it's very much needed. We looked at it and decided that what was needed the most was training and policies and best practices. A lot of the small agencies, in which about 85% of the state's police agencies are 10 and under, and they don't have the time nor the resources to set and write policies like the big agencies do. So that was really geared for them. In 2013, we completed that initiative with about 37 policies, and we were able to give them out at no cost to those agencies. Today, we have 48 policies, and they cover the most critical issues that law enforcement agencies come across today that will get them in trouble, get them sued. After that was completed, we wanted to go a step further, and we created the Arkansas Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, and we followed suit with 27 other states across the nation that have a state accreditation. We formed a committee, and we sat down and came up with 188 standards that a police agency has to meet before they can accomplish accreditation. Of course, North Little Rock PD, they're a step above, and they got the national accreditation through CLIA. But the state accreditation, it's a double accreditation for you guys, and it just makes it that more important. We have some things that CLIA does not cover, and of course CLIA has things that we don't cover. But it's a great honor. We've been across the state, and we're fairly new. The first agency that was accredited was in 2015. We now, with North Little Rock PD, they will be our 12th agency, and we're growing. We have about 20 more that's in the process. It's not easy. And it's a voluntary process. It's not something that's forced down them. So your chief decided that he wanted this for North Little Rock, and he's to be applauded, I think. So,
Absolutely.
Chief, I'd like to present this to you, and your your fine department, the men and women of the North Little Rock Police Department are very deserving of this. They've surpassed, in most cases, in these standards, and I'm very proud to present this to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Gary, thanks so much for coming down tonight. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you,
See you
Mayor.
in the September.
See you next month.
That's right. Thank you very much.
No words from the chief? Okay.
Chief, any comments? Would you like for me to speak for you? Chief said, thank you.
Thank you very much, council, and support you guys give us each and every day, and thank you, Mayor. I think it is an honor to get the Mayor of the Year award through the Arkansas Chiefs Association. There's a lot of people's names that are put in for it. And this accreditation also, as Gary said, so many small departments involved, and this council even, if you remember correctly, we gave a Old Crown Vic and some radars and some other things to a local police department, very small department in our state, and so we're able to do those things thanks to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Great job. And thanks for nominating me. That was awful nice. Okay. Consent agenda. Anybody want to pull one of those? I will recognize these people. How about a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I know Sonny Rhodes is here. Mr. Rhodes, thank you for trying to keep the guys at the library straight, and all of y'all, if you don't know, he's somehow kin to Bernadette. We don't know how he's kin to her, but she's quite the lady.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Diane's going to give you the oath of office right now.
I, Carlton M. Sonny Rhodes. Do hereby solemnly swear or affirm.
That I will support the Constitution.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution.
Constitution and laws of the state of Arkansas.
And that I will faithfully discharge.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
Of North Little Rock.
of the North Little Rock Library Commission
Of the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
of the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Upon which I'm about to enter.
I'm about to enter. Thank you.
Thank you all. Sonny, thank you very much for your past service and your future service.
Thank you, sir. It's a great honor to be on this commission. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you very much. Okay, new business. Well, let me mention real quickly, Artis is not here. Artis is one of our civil service commissioners. I want to thank her. She is so active in our community. And Melody Williford, who's on our Advertising and Promotion Commission. Actually, that's Convention and Visitors Bureau now, isn't it?
It's still called the North Little Rock Advertising and
We
Promotion.
probably ought to change that. But anyway, we want to thank them for their past service. And Melody owns American Pie Pizza. She's a good lady. Okay, new business.
R18-166, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
Resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a real estate development and option to purchase agreement for property located on Main and 6th Streets with J. Chandler and Company, Incorporated.
How about a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
I'll help you remember just a little bit. We gave John an option on the property on Main Street where we're building the three-story building. And when we realized that we wanted to build that ourselves, then he gladly, voided his option on that property. And I told him that we would give him an option on this property, which is right next to the plaza, where we hope that the future restaurant's going to go, and then the second and the third floor will be living units. Yes, ma'am.
I guess mine is just the logistics of this, because this is for 6 months with an additional 6-month option on this, so up to a year. So if the plaza is built, then he builds, or is he built? I mean, how is that all worked out?
We talked about that, and he's certainly successful enough that he could build the building if he wanted to. But what we figured, we're working right now with two different restaurant tours, and they're both different as night and day, and they're going to want their restaurant set up completely different. And so John said, I can't really build it until I know who's going to be the restaurant tenant or partner. One of the restaurants is wanting to partner on the building. So we had to do that in order for them to decide what they're going to do on the restaurant side of it. So we're going to, when we start all the dirt work down there, we are going to do all the dirt work, including this property. And we will charge him, for his part of that dirt work. And he knows that, and I believe it's in the contract too. So if he doesn't build it and the plaza's finished, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. We'll probably fence it off. We might use it for parking. We might just let it be green space. I'm not sure yet, but if John hadn't just put this thing together in 6 months, I bet he says put it back on the market and y'all try to figure out what to do. So I think we're all right. Okay, any other questions, comments on the motion?
Ross?
Yes?
White?
Yes.
Taylor? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Butcher?
Yes.
R18-167, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution appropriating additional funds for the construction of the Argenta Plaza.
How about a motion and I'll explain it?
So moved.
I think I've had an opportunity to talk to all of you guys. We bid out. We finally got all the construction plans finished. We bid it out. The bid came back in at about $800,000 over. So we sat down with the architects and the contractors and were able to adjust, change things a little bit, and took out about $200,000 worth. But everything else that I had to take out was going to hurt the quality of the plaza, and I just wasn't prepared to do that. We all agreed, I think, that this plaza was going to have a wow factor, and we haven't hurt that as of this moment. And plus, the architects, the consultant architects that we had on the police department told us the other day that in the past 18 months that the price of construction has gone up about 1% per month. So we got caught up in that somewhat. And then the third reason I think it came in a little bit high was that the plaza grew. It was this big and now it's this big. And it grew because of the addition of the 6-story building, the First Orion's building, and bringing those 200 or 300 jobs over here. It got bigger because I promised Charles Morgan that if he would build that building there, that we would push the plaza all the way to the front of his building, which added, maybe 25% larger than what the original plaza was. So that was one of the reasons that the cost was a little bit higher too. So, I tell you all that, we all would love for the thing to come in under budget, but it didn't, and so we just got to deal with it. And so when we could find the extra money in property sales that we've done and are going to do in the next 2 or 3 months, it was enough to cover the overage without it going into the general fund. So I thought that was pretty good, and we've still got 2 or 3 other pieces of property that are going to be sold, but we haven't been, we won't need to grab that money. So with that, yes, ma'am.
So the funds for this is not necessarily coming out of the general budget. It's coming out from properties that were sold.
Exactly.
This is additional money.
Right. We've been planning this for 6 years, and we've been putting the property sales in, and these are additional property sales that are closing or are going to close in 2018.
Okay.
Ms. Ross?
And just to clarify, this has nothing to do, none of the funds from the 1 cent, recently passed 1 cent sales tax, none of that is being used for this?
That's correct.
Just make sure that we've got that all clear.
That's correct. Mr. Height?
Will there be any funds left in the Special Projects Infrastructure Fund? Are just gonna wipe it out too?
Well, are you talking about the money we've been saving for 6 years?
Well, yeah.
Are you talking about capital improvement money?
You're gonna use that money plus the money, revenue from the sale of some property to come up with the 4.665 million. So after that, that's all coming out of that fund, right?
Right.
Will there be anything left in that fund?
I don't think so. Now, the sale of the Chandler property, we'll call it that, we call it the Power and Ice Building is what we're calling it. And the sale of the 600 Main Building, that will be excess funds. And it, my intention will be to put it back in that same kitty.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Just to make sure, so you've told them this is it, we don't need to keep going over, I mean, I understand that
Well,
you can go over.
the only
but
bad thing
I
about it
just-
is we
it's
don't
coming
have a
back.
contingency fund.
We haven't even started.
No, we do not have a contingency fund, so we're gonna have to be very frugal in how we put this thing together. But I think we're gonna be all right. I mean, the only thing I wanna do is, I told him the other day, and it's not very expensive, is misters on the front porch area. I think we need to have misters. I was at a restaurant the other day that had them, and it cut the temperature down about 10 degrees, and so for whatever that costs, if it's outrageous, of course, we won't do it, but, so I don't think we're gonna have any change orders. I hope. Okay, the same deal goes for the next piece of legislation too. Everything, goes in hand. All right, yeah.
I guess I'm why would we not have a contingency fund when we know there's going to be some? I mean, it's going to go over. I mean, unless we figure out a way to cut something out, if construction costs are increasing 1% a month.
All these are these bids are firm, so we know that the dirt contractor can't come in here 2 months from now and go, hey, I've changed my mind, it's gonna cost another $100,000. And, the steel prices and everything, the tariffs in China, those aren't gonna affect us either. So, the First Rhine Building, matter of fact, they've already ordered their steel, so they got in before the tariff hit.
I mean, I'm all for it. I just think that
Yeah, I didn't want to do that, but I just thought, let's just go ahead, this is our budget, let's stick to it, and if we have a change order, we'll just have to come back and tell everybody about it and see what we got to do about it.
That's something.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes?
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-168, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution appropriating additional funds for the design, schematics, and construction supervision services provided by Taggart Architects for the Argenta Plaza.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes?
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-169, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing application by the North Little Rock Police Department for funds under the 2018 Edward Byrne Justice Assistance Grant, JAG program.
For adoption.
Do I have a second?
Second.
That's got to convene a public hearing.
It is required under the grant.
Okay, all right, call a public hearing. Anybody here to speak on the Edward Byrne Assistance Grant? Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes?
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-170, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 307 West 20th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
How about a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Call a public hearing. Anyone here to speak on 307 West 20th? Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes?
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-171, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 910 North C Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for the property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Call a public hearing. Anyone here to speak on 910 North C Street? 910 North C Street. Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes?
White? Yes. Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height? Witcher?
Yes.
R18-172, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 1701 West Long 17th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for the property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Call the public hearing, 1701 West Long 17th Street. Anyone here to speak on 1701 West Long 17th Street? Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-173, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain business, buildings, houses, and other structures located at 2216 West 16th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for the property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Call the public hearing, 2216 West 16th Street. Anyone here to speak of that? Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-174, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 128.5 Davis Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for the property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Call the public hearing. Anyone here to speak on 128.5 Davis Street? 128.5 Davis. Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-175, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 116 South Spruce Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for the property owner to abate said nuisance.
So moved.
Second.
Call the public hearing, 116 South Spruce. Anyone here to speak on 116 South Spruce? Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-176, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 120 South Spruce Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for the property owner to abate said nuisance.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Call the public hearing, 120 South Spruce. Anyone here to speak on 120 South Spruce? Seeing none, close the public hearing. On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-177, Mayor Smith.
I guess it's pretty obvious that code enforcement is very busy. So, Tom, thank you for what you're doing. Please call it.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 413 Division Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for the property owner to abate said nuisance.
So move.
Second.
Call public hearing, 413 Division. Anyone here to speak on 413 Division? Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
R18-178, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution approving and certifying amounts of liens to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real properties in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, as a result of grass cutting expenses and abatement of other nuisances.
So moved.
Second.
Call the public hearing. Anyone here to speak on grass cutting expenses and abatement of other nuisances? Seeing none, close the public hearing on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
O1870, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending the 2018 quota ordinance, ordinance number 8980 for the North Little Rock Community Planning Department, Electric Department, and Fit to Live Department, declaring an emergency.
Move to
First
suspend the
reading.
readings.
Second.
Motion to suspend all readings on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
How about a
Oh, wait.
motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
On the emergency,
Go ahead and call.
Ross,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
01871, Councilmember White.
Please call it.
An ordinance vacating and abandoning a portion of the right-of-way located on West 19th Street between Marion Street and Allen Street in the city of North Little Rock, declaring an emergency.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
Got a motion to suspend all readings on the motion.
Ross,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
Got a motion.
Move for
adoption.
Murray, how about a second?
Second.
Ms. Ross?
I'd like to ask for my name to be added. I didn't think that I would be here tonight. That's why I didn't sponsor it, but I'm definitely in support of this as far as the neighborhood.
Absolutely, without
They're
objection.
thrilled.
This has something to do with Silver City Courts.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the rebuilding, the tearing down and the rebuilding of Silver City.
Right, okay, we'll add Councilmember Ross without objection on the motion.
Ross,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
Emergency clause.
So moved.
Public hearing.
Ross,
On the emergency.
Oh, Mayor, I know everybody's already voted, but in case anybody wants to change their vote, we have to have a public hearing on closing a street. So can you call a public hearing and see if anybody wants to change their vote?
Absolutely.
All right.
Call the public hearing. Anyone here to speak on the closing of the right-of-way at West 19th Street over by Silver City Courts? Seeing none, close the public hearing. Now on the emergency.
Ross,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Height,
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
01872, Councilmember Baxter.
Please call that, and without objection, please add Councilmember Harris to the legislation, please.
An ordinance reclassifying certain property located at 7521 Young Road in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, from C3 zoning classification to planned use development, PUD, zoning classification by amending ordinance number 7697, declaring an emergency. First reading.
There you go.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second. Got a motion to suspend all readings on the motion.
Ross.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Height.
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
On the emergency clause.
Adopt.
Well,
Hold on.
Hold on a minute.
I'd like to move for adoption first.
Yeah.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the motion.
Ross.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Height.
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
On the emergency clause. Ross.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Height.
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
Concludes new business, and as you can see, I have an eager team.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely. She's-
Great job.
She hadn't had dinner either. Thank you, Taylor. I haven't had dinner, so.
I've had mine,
You've had yours?
I've had yours, but I'm going to the Traveler game now, okay?
Oh, good. Well, we'll be out here for that. The public comment, let's go to Mr. Taylor, Bobby Taylor. 3 minutes, Mr. Taylor, please, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Bobby Taylor. Mayor, I'm right back where I was last 2 weeks ago, but I promise you I ain't gonna take as much of your time tonight as I did. I just want to give you a report on what's happened, and I ain't gonna let up on this till something is done. Went to court. He didn't even show up. He's not interested in it. The judge swore out a warrant for him for failing to appear. And I was going to bring some pictures and show them to you. He's had 3 garage sales without a permit in 5 months. Supposed to be one every 4 months with a permit. Last Thursday, wife got to complaining about the flies in the house coming in the back door. Well, I said maybe it'd be something on the house. Well, we found it. It's a dead rat. He's under the cabinet kitchen sink, and I can't get to him without tearing up a bunch of stuff. This morning, she got up and went in there, and there was maggots all over the kitchen floor. That's on account of these rats. I told you about them getting in my motorhome and costing me a day and a half to rewire it. I don't have any confidence and any faith in the court in North Little Rock. That flag up there, I do have a lot of respect for it. I could tell you some stories and you would understand, but that's not what this is about. I'm going to be here and tell you about this till you do something to help me. And if it gets bad enough, I'll be calling your office every day till you help me. You're the only hope I've got. And
I know all about your issues, and I agree with you 100%, but you realize that I have zero control over the judicial system.
That's true.
None.
No, I know you don't have any control over the court.
Okay.
But there's something that we can do about this. I mean, I got a solution, but you probably don't want to hear it. But you bring that big bucket truck out there and just start loading it up.
Well, we got to be legal. We have to follow the law.
Well, hey.
If my attorneys tell me that we can do that legally, we'll be out there tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that he got one pile, it ain't long as he's got two, and then he takes part of one pile and part two, and it makes three.
Bobby, I know.
And that's where all these rats and stuff is coming from. And I spent, in the last month, I've probably spent $120. And I'm putting that stuff out everywhere.
I know, I hate it for you, man.
And a little update on this waste management recycle. I got a phone call last Friday. Want to know if I was Bobby Taylor. And I said, yes, I am. He said, well, I got a note here on my desk that you got about a problem with the recycle bins. And he kind of mumbled and stumbled a little bit. Like he didn't want to really ask me what it, and I said, what are you talking about? And he finally told me, and I said, yeah, I want the stuff cleaned out of my neighborhood. And I'm going to stay after it till it's done. I said, it's not the people that recycle, I do. But I said, this was shoved down our throat to start with. When Mayor Hayes and this guy that come here, I was sitting right over there when he said, I want it all. I'll talk to you next 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are, I'm glad you brought that up. I've got a special call meeting of Regional Solid Waste tomorrow on recycling. And we're in negotiations for the extension of that contract. And I think the best that we're going to do is at least $1 increase. I think it's going to go from $2.99 to $3.99 in our preliminary negotiations last week. So it's coming. I just don't, I don't know if we can fight it off or not, but so I want to make everybody aware of that. Okay, Jimmy.
I'm gonna buy you a new stopwatch. Chief Bradley?
You only have 2 minutes. Bobby took one of your minutes, so
Okay.
2 minutes, Jimmy.
Chief Bradley, would you join me up here a second, please?
Chief Davis.
Chief Davis. I forget we have a new chief sometime. I want to personally thank you and your department on how they handled a situation with 2 boys that had run away from DHS. They handled it very professionally. And I've seen Little Rock handle stuff because I've been around. And I'm sorry, they don't try to handle it professionally. I know I give everybody fits, but when they do something right, y'all need to know about it. Thank you, sir.
Man, tonight's your night, Mike. That's two awards tonight. The Jimmy Art Award is, I mean, that's... All right, council members, Ms. Robinson?
Mayor, speaking of recycling, aren't there problems as far as citizens kind of messing up,
Absolutely.
mixing stuff
Awful.
in the recycle bins, trash, garbage?
Yeah. Part of the negotiations is that contamination issue. We have a couple of neighborhoods that the contamination is above 90%. So 9.5 out of 10 of the carts are contaminated. Thus is a lot of the problem. The other problem is, of course, is China's not taking any of these recycles anymore, and they don't have a market for the stuff that they're picking up. So that's why we're having to adjust it some. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We are prepared to start picking up the violators. They're not doing it as quick as I want them. They're going to do them 3 strikes and you're out. I told them 2 strikes and you're out, but I think that we're going to do 3 strikes and you're out. So on the 3rd violation, we're going to pick up, and the cart goes away. You can't recycle anymore because you won't follow the rules. So I see that that's coming. I'll know a little bit more after our meeting tomorrow at 2. So we've already had about 4 or 5 meetings, and I think we're going to come down to tomorrow.
My only question is, if we take the recycle bin away, are we still going to charge them?
Yes. Miss, what's your name? White?
This might sound a bit humorous as I'm starting to talk about it, but it's really not. I had a call from a resident who was upset because his neighborhood often has, as he called it, trash juice on the streets. Okay, well, I called Harold and we talked about it, and I knew that things leak out of the garbage trucks, that they're not watertight. But I learned that so much of the problem is connected with bins that are left open, and when it rains, the bins fill with water, and then they dump them, and then the garbage trucks, as they go down the street and squash it, it comes out. But I found out, too, that the recycling trucks have the same issue, and a lot of people leave their recycle bins open, and there's an enormous amount of water that fills in there, and then the truck picks it up and dumps it, and that same issue takes place. And anyway, I learned a lot that day. And I think it's called Leach Aid. I think that's the word that describes the product that comes off of it. So it's a small thing to cover your trash. If you got a bin that doesn't have a lid, get a lid. Get one with a
Some
lid.
of those bins don't have drains in them. They just drain out right there. I don't know.
In your yard, right?
Especially
Yeah.
recycle.
Well, the municipal code requires you to have a lid. It's actually in the code that you'll have a bin. And it tells you, I think it can't be over 46 gallons, I think is what it is. So there are requirements out there.
Ms. Ross?
I have several things here, but on the waste management contract, in their current contract, they said that they would take the plastic bags, which they say now that you're not supposed to be putting them in there, but in the contract, it says that they will pick them up. And one of the things, too, is how are they going to track the violators? Because, we've called numerous times, they'll go out there numerous times. They won't leave a tag. People have like plastic bags and trash, they just drive by. The individual, they may have moved from out of, from another state or something that use those bins, and they don't know. Now, some of them are just doing it just because they don't know any better, but they just drive by them. And that's one of the things with waste management. There's been no education. And they throw something on the website, but people don't look at that. There's no education. They say they have the stickers on there. Those stickers are gone. My sticker was gone in 2 months. And so.
Yeah, I mean, we know all the problems. We're just trying, who's going to fix it? So
Right. Well, if they're getting the money, they should fix it. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And
Other than just driving by and not.
they're trying to say that tag program doesn't work.
Right.
So that's one of the things that we're negotiating right now, that we think it does, especially if you pick it up. So I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but we got a special call, so.
Well, I know it would save a lot of time for our sanitation department because they're the ones that people are calling necessarily because they can't get through to waste management too.
I
So
know.
they're costing the city money too in
Yeah.
our time management. Okay, and one other thing too, well, a couple other things. Mr. Taylor said a permit for a yard sale. I didn't know that you had to have a permit for a yard sale.
You're allowed to have one per quarter. If
But-
you have more than one per quarter, you have to come down and get a permit from us.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that if you're just having one a year or two a year, whatever, okay.
There's actually a guy on North Hills that has one every couple of months.
Okay, it's a business thing, is it? Okay, and then the other thing, you know, with the talk of the plaza and the overrun, there's been talk about, you know, the sales tax was passed. Why aren't we doing things? Why haven't we got the police station built and the fire stations built and we're not seeing anything? Can you just kind of update us on that? You know, we didn't start getting sales tax money until, what, March the 1st?
Right. Yeah,
And so-
absolutely. I mean, and even if we had all $40 million on March the 1st, we probably wouldn't be any further along than we are. We had to go through so much process on what we're doing. I think last week or 2 weeks ago, our selection committee chose an architect for 2 fire stations. One's going to be in Levy, the other one's going to be, we're trying to put it in Burns Park, right over there by the Women's City Club. So it'll be close to the interstate. And so we're working on transferring that property out. That was the choice of the fire chief and his assistants. So that ball's starting to roll. One reason it took so long was that we had to identify the locations, number one. And in Levy, we had to have both pieces of property appraised to see which property that we could afford and what was the best deal. And so that was done, probably finished about 3 weeks ago. So that process on the new facilities is well on its way. The first and the largest remodel that we're doing is Station 7 on McCain. We're guessing that that's going to be about a $750,000 job, and we're actually going to close down that station, and those firefighters will move to another station to house themselves until it's finished. The plans are almost done, and they have chosen a construction manager. And so that ball's rolling. I don't know exactly where we are on that. Chief Tucker, do you know where we are on finishing the plans on 7?
We're still waiting on Gary's final drawings.
Okay. Gary Clements is our architect on that, and so that's moving. And then we're working on the fire station at Maumelle, and it's a remodel, and a fix and a remodel out there. So those 2 stations are going. The 2 new ones are in the process, so that's all going well. As far as the police department, y'all know all the hoops we had to jump through to get that property. And the selection committee chose an architect out of Kansas City, and we're still wrestling with the contract right now. I don't think we've signed that yet, have we? No. So that's probably 2 or 3 weeks away before they start actually work on that particular site. But we had to really wait on getting the site confirmed by the guard and by the school district in order to tell them that's where the site's going to be. So that ball's rolling. You know, my concern now with these construction costs, we need to be thinking about it. I don't know that we can build it for $20 million for what we want. And so, of course, we won't know that until we get the plans back and we decide how big it is and all that good kind of stuff. But I'm worried about that, coming in over budget too. So it'll probably be, I bet, at least 6 months before we have those plans done and even have it bid, I would bet. So as far as the overlay project and the $1 million, $250,000 or $500,000 per ward, I think that program's going hunky-dory. So, yeah.
Okay, you said two new fire stations are being built, or 6 is moving to Burns Park? I guess you lost me on that one.
Now, 6 is going to be in Levy.
Okay, there.
Okay, I mean, it's gonna be, we've got 2 spots, and both of them are about 6 blocks from where it sits now. And then I think what we're gonna end up doing is number 8 out on Old Conway Highway, we're gonna move it to Burns Park. And, so that's the plan right now. And we're still thinking about, moving 3, but I don't know if we're gonna do that or not. We hadn't decided.
But are they going to get a generator?
Yeah, we proved that.
Okay.
I had an alderman wearing me out over it, so I went ahead and proved it.
Well, even if they do move, it's not going to be for 4 or 5 years, so they need it now.
We did it.
Okay.
We did it. Okay, anybody else got anything to do with it? Mr. Witcher?
Mayor, in my hand, I have a magazine that is published by the Arkansas Municipal League. And there's a familiar face, which is very prominent on the front of it, indicating that Mayor Joe Smith of North Little Rock is president of the Arkansas Municipal League. For those of you who did not know that, I'd like you to see that. I will also tell you that he has had his hands full in that job besides being our mayor for the last 3 months, and he has done an absolutely magnificent job.
Well, thank you, Murray, very much. It's certainly an honor to represent the whole state. Not quite as big an honor as it is to represent my hometown. So I'm honored. It's been a good year for our city. It's been a great year for economic development, and some of the kudos that comes along with me being the president of the Municipal League is it's an honor for me, but it's also an honor for North Little Rock that they respect us that much that they would take our leader and ask him to be the leader for the whole state. So I'm very honored. Thank you for saying that, Mr. Height.
Has Mark Hayes assumed
Yes.
control?
Yeah, Mark Hayes, who was our chief legal counsel, was named last week at our state planning meeting as the full-time, full-fledged executive director to replace our dear friend Don, who passed away. Mr. Taylor?
Wow, these fire stations rebuilding and remodeling, we have what we thought was gonna be a temporary station out east. I'd like to get with, I don't know who we need to get with, you or the chief or whoever, to find out what we're gonna do out east. Is it gonna be remodeled, or gonna be rebuilt, or where do we stand out east with?
We just bought that, if you'll remember. We just bought it about a month ago.
Yeah.
You know, you go out there and talk to them, they love it out there. They love that station. They like the quaintness of it. Everybody's got their own bedrooms. They got their kitchen. They got a big den, all that stuff. So I don't think it didn't make the list to do anything. I mean, it serves the people of that area very well. And I don't know why we need to go spend $1 million or $2 million when the firefighters love the building and love being there. So,
well, we promised our constituents that was temporary, and that once we got that done, that we would move forward with actually putting in a permanent station, a more permanent building with maybe a possibility of a police substation and some other things to go along with that. So,
well, I didn't promise them that. What I promised them, that the reason it was going to be temporary, because if we found out that we couldn't afford it, it might go away. And but not that we were going to build a new building out there. So, I mean, I think the service out there is fine. The number of calls are so small in that district that we don't need to spend $2 million out there, and we certainly don't want a police substation. We're trying to wind down on police substations instead of gearing up. I don't want our police officers sitting in a police substation waiting on somebody to walk in. I want them out on the street looking for the bad guys. So I don't think we'll ever have more police substations than we have right now. Probably be less once we get this new building built. My opinion.
I don't know, I can't speak for Councilwoman Robinson, but it's a concern for me.
Talk to the firefighters and get their opinion on it, and if you still have that same attitude, we'll talk some more.
It's a concern for me as well.
Why?
Well, because 4 years ago, we promised them, now you say you didn't, but we promised them that this would be temporary. So the people out there are expecting, you know, something more permanent than what they have now.
Why do they care? Why do they care? I mean, they have a fire station, they have firefighters, 24/7, 365. Why do they care if it's in a brand-new building or if it's in an older building, if it's functional and the firefighters like it? But I also understand where he comes from. Anybody else? Ms. Whitby?
Just, would you remind people that next week we have a holiday and that garbage, trash, and recycling will all be delayed one day?
Okay, thank you very much, and I'm sure that it's going to be in the paper and on our website and on our Facebook page. Okay, how about a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor? Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.